So I thought I'd make another quick little video. I've got this project going on here with my radio and the LBZ. Picked up this guy, RP5-GM11 from PAC. It's a radio interface, and what it does is it allows the factory buttons to work in all their respective ways. So that's nice. Okay, and then supposedly program doesn't do anything with voice. I don't know what that's supposed to do either. Uh-oh, broke it. We did something now. So now it's not beeping at all. Uh-oh. It's got a little LED there. It's hard to see in the sunlight whether it's flashing or not. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. So, one of those was just supposed to frickin' mute it. Yeah, I can see it flashing. Alright, so that'll connect to my phone. And the biggest reason I got this, and why you might need it, is if you put an aftermarket radio in your 03 to 06, where the chime normally comes through the speaker. I know a lot of people want to delete this thing, but in reality, it comes in handy for me, because this truck didn't have it when I bought it, and I've been kind of missing it ever since, because it's just because of the, you know, I'll set the parking lights on to show off U bars or light bars, you know, and then I'll get out of the truck and I'll forget I had the lights on because the thing doesn't ding at me. And yeah, I know, you know what, everybody makes mistakes and I get forgetful. Everybody gets forgetful, whatever. So, for when my channel gets big enough, they'll have cynics like that. But that's all I've been doing right now. I got all that soldered up and taped together and crap, so I gotta cram all of this back up in there, and I figured I was going to put this up on top of this bracket right here, because that seemed to kind of echo up in there. And you know, for those that want to delete this, the chime, you don't have to delete it. This has a volume on it right there. Come on, focus, focus, focus. Okay, there you go. So it has 4 volume settings, and I'll probably go through them here. Only problem I have, this is on the second lowest, which isn't bad when it's up in there. You know, it's not bad at all. But the only thing, you know, this kit was $130. I'm a little disappointed at the kind of quality you get. Okay, this will be the lowest. That's pretty quiet. Let me turn the volume down there. Okay, the second, third, and fourth. And you can hear it gets raspy. I figured that one was decent. I don't need obnoxiously ear-piercing, but enough to let me know, hey, forgot the lights, or low fuel, or check engine light. Like, my check engine light was burnt out. And that's the one thing I haven't noticed yet, is like Dad's LBZ, every single time you turn the ignition on and start the truck, you know, it does its normal bing, bing, but at the end it goes bing, 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 you know, like as if you're low on fuel or something. His ABS light's on and his check engine light's not. So I don't know, maybe that's just for the ABS light, because we ended up having to solder on a new, as you'll see, a new check engine light for mine, because someone had taken that off. And on Dad's cluster, they had chipped off the ABS, the brake light, and the frickin' check engine light. Like, yeah, you knew it had a problem. And his problem right now is the ABS light is on with no codes, history or present. But there is a problem, because when you are doing about 80 and you do a little bit of maneuver with the wheel, all of a sudden, bing, 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 and you'll read the code for ABS, and the front left hub assembly will throw a code. But you clear that code and the light never goes away, and there's no instantaneous code to get it back. I mean, you got to drive it up to speed in order to get the code to come back. So it's interesting. And it's tried cleaning the grounds. We've already tried that. Everybody tries that, and I don't think it's ever worked for anybody. So, but you know, I just figured I'd share this little short video, and just if you are interested in retaining your factory radio controls with a really good response, I mean, you know, a good response. So that's nice. And then one of those is supposed to do something. I don't know. I think that just switched the radio off. That was supposed to be mute. Yep, it turned it off. That's an on-off switch now. Yep. Top one's an on-off switch. And the nice thing is you can reprogram your buttons with this, and it gives you how to and everything in the directions. You can reprogram the buttons to do whatever you want it to control the radio, you know. However, the only thing now I don't know is if OnStar works or not. I'm almost afraid to try it. I don't care. I don't use it. I just want to know, because that's one of the things that is supposed to retain once you upgrade your radio, is the OnStar, the chime, the radio, the steering controls, and then yeah. So that's all I got. The only other thing I got to do in here, there's a couple things actually. Took the lever off. Is I think I got a broken ground or something in there. You can kind of not really see. The black wire is kind of skinny, like the wire broke off inside there, because tow haul doesn't work and the plus and minus doesn't work now. So that's great. So I gotta pull that apart, solder that back together, hopefully, and hopefully it'll keep working until I can get a new one or something, because I mean it's pretty worn. It's all, you know, looks all greasy and nasty, and it's all just worn down. I just like to get a new one to really up the appeal in here. Then the only other thing I have to do is probably pull the seat out, pull the seat bottom off. I just replaced the seat heater, and it's already back to, you'll flip the switch on and it'll turn off after a minute to 30 seconds like it's burnt out again. And sometimes you can wiggle your butt and that'll make a connection or something in the seat heater, and it'll stay on for a while. I mean, it heats up, so it's not completely shorted, but it'll heat up and then shut off. And it was acting weird. I don't know if it's the module in the seat or the switch, to where you would turn it on, the seat would get screaming hot. And I mean, like, you could fry an egg on it. And you turn it down to the first notch, the lowest setting, and it would still cook. It would still keep heating up, and it was like, what are you doing? You turn it off, then flip through the buttons real slowly down to the lowest setting, and then it would cool back down. So I don't know what's going on there, but we gotta try and figure that out, because it's supposed to have like a 2-year warranty, because this is the OEM GM seat heater, so I gotta try and warranty that out or something. So this is what I did have in here. It's called the Access, AXXESS. Let's see, there's patent numbers. But this I got at Best Buy as well. This is supposed to allow you to retain your steering wheel controls, pretty much, and that's it. And it worked well. It worked very well. I was expecting to hit the button slowly, and it would go and not be able to, you know, you know, but you can, and that's really nice. I was very surprised. And you can also program the buttons with this as well. I think this was $40 to $60. There's that one to retain everything OnStar. That'll also, big key, because I know some of you guys have the fully loaded trucks. If you have the factory Bose system, this will allow you to retain your factory Bose communication, because I put a Bose subwoofer in here, but this never came with Bose, so I had to wire it up to a speaker. But anyway, you know, this will allow you to retain absolutely everything about your GM truck, 03 to 07, GM11 RP5. So if you are interested in that kind of thing, then go for it. It'll really help out and really help me out. And I'm excited to have like a brand new truck again. So thanks for watching. God bless. Alright, so I got things buttoned back together, and I just figured I'd let you listen to the chime and how quiet it is with it up in the dash. It's not bad. I mean, I'm sure this is probably a lot more tolerable to people than what it was. You know, other than the raspiness, which is nasty and kind of acidine for $130, but you know, it's better than nothing, because even with the, you know, turn on the lights, dings, which is nice. So it's, you know, you don't realize how much you miss something until you don't have it. You know, that's that classic saying, because not having that, forget your lights are on and crap. So all back together. I was able to get the wires soldered for this. I didn't even notice if there were a couple broken wires or not. I just cut them all because I had to strip the sheathing back a ways in order to get enough room to get the soldering iron in there. So I just soldered them all together. It works. I just probably end up getting a new one and a new boot, probably from Merchant Auto or something. But yeah, man, everything works. I don't know if I showed you, but we put some LEDs in these guys, even though they're kind of raggedy. But and then he had a couple leftover regular bulbs from his cluster, and mine, I had quite a few of them burnt out. You guys probably saw those from earlier videos if you've been following along. So I got all the lights in there working, which is nice, and the only LEDs in here are the turn signals and the cruise control, I think. But and then these have LEDs, those are LEDs, and then we just got to get the window switches, which all light up, I think, except for the big button. And then these two are new switches, so I just wanted LEDs in there, I guess. And he didn't have an extra big one. He had a lot of extra other ones because he had ordered a certain kit. And the bulbs for that kit he had ordered weren't for what he was trying to do, I guess. They were different style bulbs than what they were supposed to be or something, I don't know. A lot of extra bulbs, so he did a couple switches there. His new kit, he bought pretty much an entire dash kit, and it came with new steering wheel switches, bulbs, so we put them in. So it's nice to have those lit up, because those didn't light up at all when I bought it, and neither did all the four-wheel drive and the little LEDs that, you know, say what, you know, which one you're in. And then I just bought these ones new because the button here was busted, and, you know, if you've been following along, if you haven't, whatever. And then you know, this is all lit up still, all of it. So that's, I don't even want to touch that right now, I guess. I don't have to. And that works. That's good. I mean, it's a work truck. No, I wouldn't say a beater, but I mean, you know, it's taken care of, but it's not the best of the best. That one gets the best of the best. In fact, I'll probably show you quick here what we did yesterday. Leave my key in the ignition there, which I probably did, which I did. Whatever. So this truck, I messed with the needles yesterday. For those of you that have been like, oh, well, why are your gauges so freaking far off the RPM and the oil pressures? I always run that low oil pressure. So I messed with the needle. I'm going to have to mess with it some more because it's not sitting exactly where it's supposed to. It's relative to where it should be when it's off and low oil pressure. And the tachometer is more accurate, even though it's not sitting very accurate when it's off, but while it's idling it is. So we'll fire it up. Whoops. There you go, because we're probably doing about 750 or so. Get in there a little more accurately. So we're probably doing about 750. It's 2.4. So, you know, it's better than it was by a long shot. Trust me, I'm much happier with it. So I was driving around last night, and it's a whole lot more accurate. That probably needs to get bumped up just a little bit more, which makes me feel a little bit better, because last night it was running in between the 0 and the 20, which when it was fully warmed up, which made me a little nervous. Like, damn, this thing's really low on oil pressure then. With that metal in the oil. But yeah, So that should be running 60 psi cold. I mean, last night going down the freeway we were running 40, so we'll be running a little bit above 40, which I guess is okay. So, you know, and for having some metal in the oil, this truck is quiet. Just quiet. Especially with new injectors. I mean, it's just whisper quiet. So, you know, no knocking, no nothing, so. But I'm going to go run an errand quick. And, you know, black truck is done. Other than the seat heater. But we got the shifter fixed. We got the new radio stuff hooked up. So that way it have our dinging back, which to me is a nice thing. And it's a quiet ding too. So, you know, win-win. And that'll be another win if we can get that sorted out. Left the key in the ignition. I gotta move it anyway, so I guess we'll do a little bit of a cold start, even though it's been started like 2-3 times today. And no glow plug control module. She's a little choochy and a little bit of rumbly and all that fun jazz. I gotta throw that new one in tonight because I have my appointment with GM tomorrow to get that programmed, and that'll bring the truck back to stock, and then we'll have an opportunity to get some new tunes in a couple days. So I'll probably put the order in tonight for tunes, and we'll probably have them hopefully by Tuesday, because I looked at my emails from the time I bought tunes for Dad's truck and the time, actually we'll look at that just to prove I fixed it. Yay, the wall, yay. But even with the ignition off, I still turn that off with my button. You can hear a click in the dash when I do that. It's turning on, and then you hear a click. It's interesting. So I don't know. Let's say open the door, and then I do it again, if it'll turn on or if it'll stay off. It'll stay off until you turn it back on. That's interesting. Oh yeah, that's cool, I guess. So, cool. Anyway, life goes on. We'll go run our errand, and I will keep you guys updated on our tuning and on the truck's any better with the glow plug control module. If you guys have the same code as the P064C, it just says glow plug control module, and it was accompanied by a 6th glow plug code not anymore though. So they changed that, and all the rest of them are within spec. So we tested all the wires we need to test, came down to glow plug control module. Let's get her done. I've already got it upstairs. I'll slap her in. But alrighty, thanks for watching. God bless. Figured I'd do another quick little update, because you know the tampering is never done when you're doing custom stuff. So far all I've got is that Dremel in. I'm probably gonna have to glue it in because it's not as thick as the door panel for holding that in. But so that I have to wire up, and I have to do the other side as well. This is just the guinea pig since it's not matching color yet. But I've also got some more fun stuff we're doing, because well, the dome light's on down there, but those don't come on the 01 to 02 trucks, and that bugs me. So I picked up a relay because I figured this is going to be the easiest way, because these trucks have a breakable ground, I guess is how I would say it. I'm not up on electrical mumbo jumbo. It has a constant hot but a breakable ground. The ground is open when the door is closed. As soon as you open the door, you know, you'd hear your relay kick on for the lights, which this bulb is a piece of crap because it's from China. And then the ground is closed. It's functional. Then it kicks on the dome light. Why they reverse this shit, I don't know, because normally you'd have a breakable power, you know, from a switch. But whatever. So the only way I figured I could do this, because some guy said he was able to swap that to make it so it worked on a breakable ground. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. That sounds, you'd have to write it out for me or show me a video, whatever, in person. So I just picked up a relay, cheapo, $7-8 at O'Reilly's. Figured out how to get it going. I need like 5,000 hands in order to show you what's going on. This one is ground pin number 85, and I'm just using these for that switch. So this is ground positive on the left, battery constant on the bottom. You have to have a constant power, I guess. And then the top is going to be my output, which is going to feed power to these lights. Constant. Or not constant, but when it's switched on from the dome light turning on, it's going to turn these on as well. And that's just going to be that. But I got to solder in. I also picked up, take the phone number and stuff off there. Picked up some resistors so that, or diodes, I'm sorry, diodes, so that, when these turn on separately, they aren't going to feed voltage back to the dome light and turn everything on. Not that I don't think that would work because the ground is breakable on the rest of the lights. But whatever. Anyway, so that was like $15. And I got stuff for another project. And I'm just going to use these and wire them up, solder them up, whatever. And so just figured I'd show you what I'm doing to get those to work with the door, because they don't on these older trucks, and it's a real bummer because, you turn on the map light, dome light, and you're like, oh, gee, it's dark up here, there's no light, and that does a pitiful job, so whatever. So that's it. It's easy peasy, gonna wire it up, and I'll probably show you the finished product before I hang it up. So, thanks for watching. So I'm just finishing up my little project here. Went all right. Had a little bit of a hard time soldering stuff in midair. That's always a frickin' treat. But I'll show you here in a second. Get this out of the way enough to park her car in the garage. So, now all is well with the world, because get both of them in the shot. Yeah, kinda, not really. There you go. Camera makes it look like there's a latency, but in honesty, because it's LEDs, in reality you can't see that difference. But wow, what a difference that makes. And I did have a casualty. I forgot how to take out those buttons, which they just pull out when you get a pickup in there. You can see a slot. But I mean, you see it, turn that one on, put the resistors in there so there's no issues. So that's nice. I had to just disassemble that switch. I'll have to find a new one. I've got one in Michigan I have to pick up out of Mom's garage yet. But yeah, man, I mean, I just love the fact that turn that on, everything comes on. Oh, that's so nice now. Freaking rights it does. Jeez, that makes it just so much nicer when you're looking for stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so that's all we've got so far. I gotta pull out some stuff I'm trying to sell here. So, let me get some food, I'm starving. But, yeah, that went fairly okay. I was going to show you the final product, but I'm a little embarrassed because it's a mess up there. It really is. I mean, I've done 4 mods that have wires just running absolutely up everywhere. I mean, I've got the mods now, the wires running for that. I've got 2 separate wires, I think, up in there just for that. One's tied into this switch. Oh, you can hear my relay. Put the relay up in there. It worked out perfectly. I wish I'll have to show you another day maybe, but it's self-explanatory. I got this mod. That was a whole thing. The compass, the temperature, auto dimming, because it was just a manual mirror. There was no nothing on there. So, so we got the home link. That was a mod. You know, so you got 1, 2, 3, and. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 mods for you, and there's just wires. It's not terrible, but it is kind of a jungle. And these ones are all taped up. Obviously, I taped all those together. And there's just a short jumper from here to the relay, because one of these is a constant power you need for the relay, and then you know, the 2 wires come to one and plug into the relay, and then you've got the home link, which is tied into the power for the orange wire that's, you know, has the connector for that, connects whatever. But and then I think one of those is tied in maybe somewhere. I don't remember. Either that or it's got new wires running, but there's wires up there for it, so that's fantastic. But you know, everything else is working. I'm really happy. You know, freaking mint. Everything's working. Oh, it's so nice. Be able to open the door and voila. And off, on, off, on. Yeah, buddy. Freaking rights it does. Yeah, you figure if the relay ever sticks, then I'll probably drain the battery over a while, since it's just 2 LEDs. But, oh well. Should hopefully be a long while before that happens, since we'll find out. But anyway, so that's all I did. I'm gonna get stuff taken care of so I get it sold, and we'll talk to y'all later. Hope you all enjoyed a little bit of an extra modification that you can do at home on your GM. And if you've got the overhead console with 2 lights that don't come on, which I think it was just only up until 02, so maybe 03 or 4 or 2. Don't quote me on that, but yeah. So talk to you later. Thanks.